Oi, gente, which is Portuguese for hi guys. So, New Year is around the corner and I'm guessing you are thinking about New Year's resolutions. Well, so was I 1 year ago, and I decided to give myself a challenge and to read 12 books in 12 months. So, this is how I did it. Well, firstly, very important, if you want to succeed in any New Year's resolution or challenge or goal or whatever, I highly recommend to get yourself an accountability partner. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a person who helps you succeed at your goal. For example, in my case, I and a friend of mine together decided we would try to read 12 books in 12 months. We opened up a WhatsApp group and we put in all the books, and when we finished them throughout the entire year, now we have a beautiful list. Ain't that great? When I saw that she finished another book, I was like, oh, hold on, I think I gotta read some more because I'm not on track right now. You see, that's accountability partners. Secondly, very important as well, very important, is quantify your goal. Now, if I were to say, next year I want to read more. Okay, what is reading more? How much did I read last year? How much is more? So I quantified my goal to read 12 books in 12 months because it sounds awesome. And because I thought one book a month is achievable, which is part 3. Set achievable goals, okay? Don't expect to lose 10 pounds in 1 week or whatever. Your goals have to be achievable as well. And 12 books per month, no, yeah, right. 12 books in 1 year is absolutely achievable. So, first, get yourself an accountability partner. Secondly, quantify your goal. And thirdly, make it achievable. Now, I'm sure you want to know which books I read. I read an NFT ebook, a love story, 5 secrets to know before you die, Freakonomics, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Roar, Devil's Peak, 13 Hours, Der Geschichtenbäcker, First Family, Power of Habit. If you kept count, those were only 11 books because it is now December 14th and I still have half a month to finish the last book. Okay, I can do that. However, I have also started 2 or 3, actually 3 other books throughout the year, which I didn't finish. One of which was Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. I didn't finish this one because the first few pages were already so disappointing. They were full of nothing. Like an entire page filled with one quote. And the insights he gave were already clear to me. That it's totally fine to stop reading a book if it's not your thing. These 2, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck and The Power of Habit. These books are amazing. And if you want to, I can make more detailed videos about these books or other books. Just let me know in the comments. Let's start with this one. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. In one very basic sentence, what Mark is trying to tell the reader is that you should choose what to invest your emotions and energy into and what not to, because that will ultimately make you happier. Though he really focuses on saying that happiness is not what we should try to achieve. When I ask you what's your goal in life, maybe your answer will be, I just want to be happy whatever I do. That's my answer. Mark says, nah, not a good goal. In today's society, with all the information we're getting from every side at every time of the day, it's also called information overload. We tend to think that we need everything, we want everything, and we cannot be happy without everything.
I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it.
We constantly compare ourselves, you know the deal. His chapters are called Don't Try, Happiness is a Problem, You Are Not Special, You're Wrong About Everything, Failure is the Way Forward. Everything he says is the other way around to what everybody else says. Everybody else says, go do this and this and this and you'll be happy and great and la 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 la. He says, you're stupid, you're wrong, la la la, but it's still kind of uplifting. I don't know why, but it's uplifting. I really recommend this book to you. I know this is not a summary. Like I said, I can make a summary for you if you want to. But this was one of the top 2 books I read this year. I really recommend it to you. Go buy it. And then The Power of Habit. This I finished yesterday. So December 13th. And oh, I love it. You can see. Okay, maybe you can't quite see. I actually use text markers and sometimes pencils in my books. Oh my. But I just feel like when I do this, I can memorize better what's important for me. And it really helps me to summarize later on. Oh, I love this quote. There are these 2 young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys. How's the water?" And the 2 young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" The water is habits. We don't even know that everything we do is a habit, but it is. And this book is eye-opening in that case. The Power of Habit analyzes habits. Obviously, 1 of the individual, 2 of companies, and 3 of societies. The most important message for me from this book was, habits are not destiny. We can choose our habits once we know how, and any of them can be changed. Some with more and some with less struggle and time. The baseline of everything is that there is a cue, a routine, and a reward, and that builds your habit. This book is really easy to read. It's really exciting. It has great examples out of life. Charles helps you to realize that everything you do is a habit, and that you can change every single one of them. Once you know that everything is a habit, and it really helped me already, you can change everything. An example out of my life, when I try to eat healthy, and I find myself, usually after lunch, going to the kitchen looking for something sweet. Sometimes I stop myself and I'm like, wait, you don't want to eat that. Why are you here again? No, you're not gonna eat that. And then the other part of my brain comes and says, so what if you eat it? It's not gonna hurt you, and it doesn't. Why don't you just eat it? That's a habit. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Wow, I don't have any toxic thoughts about unhealthy food. I can eat it without feeling guilty. It's great. Yes, of course. But that's just a habit of me going to the kitchen looking for something sweet after lunch is nothing but a habit. And now that I know that, I can change it. I can just stop doing it. Anyways, once you know about habits, you can change your whole life. Read this book. It's amazing. If you take anything away from this video, read these 2 books. In this digital age, it's really a good idea to read more because our attention span is so low. And especially in the beginning of 2022, I noticed how reading affects my attention span. I was on TikTok a lot in the beginning of the year, and so my attention span was low. And I only really realized that when I started reading, because I could not focus on the book. I just couldn't focus. And just after a few days of reading, it got way better. I also read a lot of thrillers, mostly from Dean Meyer. I love his books. They're super gripping. Good grip. And what's so great about his books is that he can totally shift perspectives. So you can read out of the perspective of a prostitute, of a murderer, of a policeman, of a drug addict. It's amazing. Roar, I really enjoyed this. Those are just little short stories, all for women. The stories that spoke to me the most are the woman who was swallowed up by the floor and who met lots of other women down there too. The woman who walked in her husband's shoes. These titles alone, I think, kind of speak for themselves. It's totally metaphorical and I love it. And Freakonomics, oh, this book was so amazing. It's so fun to read, and they show correlations between things you would never have thought are even in the slightest correlated. For example, they talk about how baby names affect the person's lives. Why do drug dealers still live with their moms? I don't know, super revealing, this book. Super, super dope, super fun. Recommend it to you as well. 5 secrets you need to know before you die. In short, the author and a group of other researchers interviewed hundreds of old people, and these people were reported to them as wise people. All the chapters sound really cliche, but the author explains very well, with beautiful examples as well, why these cliches make sense. Like, for example, live in the moment, give more than you receive. I know, super cliche, but beautiful book. The fact that I had this goal made me read so much more consciously, and I love it. The best thing I think about reading is that in just a few hundred pages, you can learn something new that took the author sometimes years of research to figure out. Sometimes a whole lifetime is put into one book, reduced to the most important things, and you can read that in a few hours. It is so amazing. There's so much knowledge out in the world, which I'm super eager to get to know. And maybe you now have a New Year's resolution goal too. Maybe you will read 12 books with me in the new year. So if you have any book recommendations for me that I should read next year, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed yourself watching this video, consider to subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, Happy New Year!